Hi everyone! If you're thinking about purchasing a car but on a budget, this vlog might help you. So please watch till the end. Technically speaking, a car is an asset. Pero I still personally view it as a liability because apart from the cost of purchasing a car, marami ka pang ibang gagastusin like fuel, repairs and maintenance, registration, insurance, and if you live in condensed places like Metro Manila, madalas pati parking space problemahin mo pa. Unless siguro gagamitin mo siya na pampasada, then maybe you can consider it as an asset. Pero personal ko lang to, I would still understand other people from prioritizing purchasing a car over other things because maybe they have suffered long enough in public commute dahil nga they live far from their schools, their workplaces, or maybe their job requires it, especially those in sales, those in networking. Sometimes you have to build their profile in order to have further recruits and sales. Ang dami ko pang sinabi, ang dami kong hanash, but recently my husband and I bought our own car. And it's because we want to be able to travel to the province whenever we want to, and the pandemic really limited us from doing so. Kaya napabili kami. But given that we really view it as a liability, then we made sure na makakatipid kami on the purchase price. So when buying a car, you can either buy a brand new one or a second hand. Kapag second hand naman, you can buy from different places like number one, dealerships. For example, yung Park and Sell, Philcoche, automart.ph. And then you can also buy from free markets like Facebook Marketplace, Carousel, Instagram. And lastly, you can buy from banks. Yung mga binibenta ng banks are repossessed cars. Repossessed cars are those cars that were taken back by the bank dahil nga nag-default na si buyer. Kasi nga, itong mga car dealerships na to, usually they give good promos like a small down payment na all-in, including registration and lots of freebies, mga fast processing offers. Kaya ikaw na bagong sahod or bagong tanggap ng down payment, although yung pera mo is equivalent lang sa down payment, naglabas ka ng kotse without even thinking of your monthly obligations. Dahil dyan, marami talagang nareremata or maraming nare-repossess na mga kotse. Comparing the three places that I mentioned where you can buy a second-hand cars, usually repossessed cars are priced way lower than those because sabi nila based on research, usually 20 to 30% of the purchase price have already been paid for by the previous owner bago siya maremata. Kaya banks are really in a position or are able to price it way lower than the market. So in this vlog, we will share our experience in purchasing a repossessed car. In this vlog, I will be sharing our experience in buying a repossessed cars. I will be sharing with you the steps and the learnings na natutunan namin while trying to purchase this car. Step number one is to identify your budget. Kasi nga girl, nagtitipid ka, so hindi pwedeng sky is the limit. And if you really want to be able to pay the whole price at hindi magaya dun sa mga narerematang kotse, then you need to identify or set your budget. Number two, identify your preferred model. Tulad ng sabi ko kanina, maraming nare-repossess na mga kotse, and so marami ka ring options sa mga warehouse ng mga bangko. Kaya in order for you to save time and effort, it's ideal that you identify your preferred model first. Dito yung part na pwede kang mag-research. Like in our case, what we did is we wanted a budget-friendly and a fuel-efficient car. And after our detailed research, watching various reviews, reading online, watching YouTube videos and all, we were able to trim down our options to Hyundai Rena, Kia Soluto, and Suzuki Ciaz. Also, according to research, cars that are 5 years and older tends to lose its fuel efficiency. Kaya in-establish namin that we will only buy cars that are 2018 model. So 2018 and above lang yung model niya. Step 3 is to check on the bank's listing of repossessed cars. So you can visit their official websites. Doon makikita nyo, you can always Google bank's repossessed car, etc. And then there you'll see their listings. Usually they would post weekly updates on their listings, and there you'll see details about the car. So yung model, anong year, yung mileage, or yung layo ng itinakbo ng kotse. Very important to because it indicates kung yung level lang paggamit ng sasakyan. So, based on research, again, a typical car would run 10 to 15,000 a year lang daw. So, anything above that may indicate na masyadong nagamit yung kotse. It also indicates the warehouse location, kung saan mo siya pwede i-view, and the physical condition of the unit. So it would say if it has scratches, dents, issue with the battery or anything, including if it doesn't have airbags anymore. So pwedeng na-indicate na naibangga na siya, kaya lumabas na yung airbags. So yun. Lastly, you'll see the price. So there is a bid price, which is the minimum amount that you can bid if you want to go through the bidding process. And then some banks offer naman a spot price or a buy now option. So yun yung presyo kapag gusto mong bilhin na agad without undergoing the bidding process. Another tip for you guys, this is also after we did our detailed checking of the listings of every bank, at least here in Metro Manila. So we were able to establish na yung pinakamurang magpresyo ay number 1, Security Bank. And then followed by BPI. Pero ang pinakamahal so far is RCBC. Based dun sa listahan na tinignan mo, mas maganda sana if you are able to identify at least 3 units na gusto mong makita. And then isa ding tip, isa rin sa mga ginawa namin before is that we watch YouTube videos. So maraming vloggers na ang ginagawa nila ay nag-upload ng monthly update na mga kotseng bagong dating sa mga warehouse ng bangko. So doon makikita mo yung exterior ng mga sasakyan. So kahit paano makikita mo, medyo luma to, ganyan, etc. Or meron nga talaga siyang gas-gas. Ayun. So after that, let's proceed with step 4, which is to physically visit the warehouse and inspect the unit. So in this step, it is highly recommended that you bring a mechanic with you so that he can best evaluate the conditions of the car and also identify any necessary repairs that you have to spend money on. In our case, hindi na kami nakapagbitbit ng mechanic dahil nga hindi naman sa lumang schedule at wala rin kami sasakyan papunta doon, nagmumotor lang kami. And so what we did our own research. We watched YouTube videos and read articles and also consulted some mechanic friends. So binigyan kami ng basic things that we have to check on. Kasi it may imply na kailangan namin ng major repair. And yun yung iniiwasan natin. Because buying a second-hand car, alam mo nang nagamit na kahit papaano talagang hindi na siya in a brand new condition. Pero ang iiwasan natin is yung magre-require ng major repair. Dahil baka yung inaasam mo na pagtitipid, mas mapagastos ka pa pala.
Trying our luck again sa bidding. So we are currently at Security Bank. Ito yung warehouse nila. So they're more malubag as compared to the other banks. Kasi they would just give you the key. Tapos bahala ka ng pumunta dun sa unit at mag-check. So yeah. Ang dami. So ideally talaga, before you come here, you should check the listing. Para meron ka na talagang car na titingnan.
If in case nagustuhan mo yung kotse, then we proceed with step 5, which is to buy or bid on the car. Dito, we'll focus on the bidding dahil nakuha namin yung kotse namin through the bidding process. So, yeah, some of the banks would require a deposit, usually 10,000 pesos. This is the bank's way of ensuring the commitment of the buyer to pursue the purchase if in case siya yung manalo sa bidding. Kasi nga, sayang naman yung oras kung nanalo ka, hindi mo rin pala ipupush, nagtitrip ka lang. Ganon. However, meron din ng mga bangko na hindi nagre-require ng deposit, but they would clearly state in the terms and conditions na if in case you win and do not pursue with your bid, then you will be permanently blacklisted. Ngayon, the question is, magkano ba dapat ang i-bid mo? Ang learning namin is that you really have to think of your competition. So, maybe if you're purchasing a car na very common like Vios, marami ka namang kapareha, Mirage, ang dami nun, sobrang dami nun sa mga warehouses. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. But anyway, so, we have few friends naman na who did their bidding the first time and won. Even if wala din silang patong dun sa minimum bid price. As in, saktong-sakto, nanalo pa rin sila. Kami, we had to undergo 3 bidding process before winning. So, sa the third time pa kami nanalo. And that is because we are really trying to purchase a car na medyo kakaiba. Hindi siya the common type. Kaya talagang nahirapan kami. In fact, we visited 5 warehouses. So, throughout this 3 bidding experience, we would always ask yung in charge kung ilan na po ba yung mga nag-bid ng unit, ganyan. In order for us to know the competition. Pero syempre, you cannot completely rely on their statement. Pwede din nilang in-exaggerate or etc. So, one would say, magpatong ka lang ng 5,000 to 10,000. Based on our research, meron din nagsabi dapat at least 20%. Pero ang pinaka-wise na advice na nakuha namin, which is from our last bid, ang sabi ni Kuya, Ma'am, if you really like the unit, give your best price. The only thing that you really need to ensure is that you do not go beyond the second-hand price in free markets or in dealerships. Kasi usually mga binibenta sa second-hand market at dealerships, usually pinaayos na nila, mukha na siyang mas maganda, mukha na siyang brand new ulit. Kasi pina-maintenance, etc. Para mas saleable siya. Whereas, yung mabibili mo sa repossessed cars, as is condition siya, so puro alikabok, etc. So, it means to say, you might spend money on the cleaning, and even on repair. So, dapat nag-a-allot ka ng konting allowance. So, in the car that we purchased, the cash price for a brand new one is 880,000. The second-hand price in free markets or dealerships is at least 530,000. The minimum bid price was 330,000. Hindi kami, medyo kinabahan kami kasi napakababa ng minimum bid price, but we still bid 412,555. Dinagdagan na namin butal para just in case rounded yung numbers na binid ng kalaban, manalo pa rin kami. Just making sure. And so, mapapansin nyo ang taas ng patong namin. Because the car is really good, except for the damage dun sa infotainment niya. Pero sabi kasi na mechanic namin, you shouldn't really be worried. Mechanic friend ha, you shouldn't really be worried about the infotainment. Secondary na lang yun, bahala na. Ang importante yung makina. And so, we still bid. And, ayun. So, after getting the car, we only went for a basic PMS, Preventive Maintenance Service, but sa official na mga kasa sa Suzuki Service Center. And then we spent only 8,500. Wala na silang ni-require na iba pang palitan like gulong, everything is in good condition. And so in total, we only spent 421,055 on the car. So essentially, 530,000 versus the 421,000, nakasave kami ng 108,000. Ngayon doon sa infotainment na damage, this is also one of the benefits if you're purchasing a repossessed car. Kasi with a limited budget, you will be able to buy a more latest unit. Medyo mas bata-bata na unit or bago-bago na unit. In our case, fortunately, covered pa rin pala yung sasakyan ng warranty. So yung infotainment, papalitan siya ngayon ni Suzuki. Going back, so ang bidding process is usually weekly for every banks. For Security Bank in particular, ang cut-off ng bidding nila is every Sunday, and then they would release the result after 3 banking days. So usually it's either end of Wednesday or early Thursday. And then if you opt for the cash price, kasi you have 2 options then. You can pay in cash, you can pay in installment, mag-i-in-house financing ka. But I'll focus on the cash kasi yun yung ginawa namin. So in our case, we were required to pay in cash within 2 days. So once paid, aandar naman yung processing nila of the necessary documentation and the clearance and the gate pass para mailabas mo na yung kotse from the warehouse. So in our case, ang standard turnaround time nila or lead time nila ay 5 to 10 days. Pero in our case, the car was released within 3 banking days. So there, nakuha lang namin gate pass. And then, yung ORCR, I believe. And then, nailabas na namin yung kotse. Pero yung mga deed of sale and then yung ibang documents ng sasakyan, to follow pa rin yun, hinihintay pa rin namin. So, this is also an opportunity para gumawa ng isa pang vlog when we work on transferring the registration of the car into our name. So, that's for another content. Meron pa ba akong nakalimutan? Yeah, I think that's it. So, ayun, if you really wanna save, talagang e-effort ka lang ng konti. Pero worth it naman dahil malaking savings. At saka, hindi ka nang papasubo kasi sometimes yung brand new, madali nga siyang mabili, madali siyang mailabas. Pero grabe yung effort mo in the next 5 years. Usually kasi 5 years mahuhulugan, di ba? Grabe yung effort mo para i-figure out kung paano mo huhulugan yung monthly amortization. Whereas if you buy a second-hand car, then mas likely na kayanin mong magbayad in cash. So, makakasave ka rin on the potential interest na ma-incur mo kung mag-i-in-house financing ka or maglo-loan ka sa bangko. That's it! So, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, I would like to emphasize that about every topics I'm putting in our channel are based on our personal experience. So, yung mga tips na binibigay ko, yun ay mga bagay na talagang ina-apply ko sa sarili ko. So, if you really wanna learn more, please tune into my channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jonna V. Show some love by liking this video and sharing. Thank you so much. Bye!